At some point, we were just like staring each other in the eye, trying to stop each other's bases. You know, just hoping that the two people that are in the next is like at the next, please, 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 just praying, you know, please, please, please win the game, you know, because we were both trolling, you know, all of us were just at the Baron pit, and I think all of us were kind of confused, like, are we supposed to like stop them, or are we supposed to base, what's it gonna be? Because like, I know, like, Promiscu had like a moment where he was hesitating to flash over the wall, because I don't know if he, like, I don't know, like, I don't even know what was happening. I had no idea. I was just like, what? You know, I was like, oh, it's lost. And then I saw my Lucian and my Rakan in their base hitting the next, and I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna win.
Here's like the puppet for the Shotcaller with the one and only Bwipo. I mean, how many interviews for the Shotcaller did you do this split alone?
This one? 5? No way. No, I saw like 2. I think two interviews, I think. Or 3.
A couple, right? Yeah, we haven't spoken in a while. Like the last time we spoke, it's been a good time. But Bwipo, I think you have to explain me first before we catch up, right?
Yeah.
What the hell did just happen?
I feel like we kind of stomped them in the early game. But the problem was that when we actually had to execute on the top lane tower dive, I mean, maybe we didn't even have to dive, but we felt like it was a good idea. We kind of got Cassie ulted and everyone got stunned, and then it got really awkward really fast because we got flanked by Zed, and then everyone started to die. And I feel like we kind of messed up the execution on that, and that's why this game looked close, because I feel like if we played better, that wouldn't even be close. And the same went for the Baron. I feel like we messed up execution. Rakan didn't successfully stop Jarvan from crossing, so if he stole that Baron, like, you know, there were a few hiccups.
Yeah.
But I feel like the early game was really clean. I think we played the early game really well, despite me being kind of a liability in the early game because I was kind of useless. Because my matchup was pretty hard, but I could have played it much better is what I'm trying to say. Despite that, my 4-man unit carried the game pretty hard and made it in a position where we basically couldn't lose, and then we almost lost.
All right, so let's get to the roots of the problem and understand first how the early game went. Talk me through the GP into Ryze matchup.
Yeah, it's just basically I want to, like, from the GP's perspective, you want to run Ryze without giving him kill pressure. So like every time he has like W up, you want to just basically get W'd behind creeps or something, or orange them and then dodge the Q damage. Yeah. You want to make him use mana on E and W because he doesn't put points in that early. He puts points in Q, 3 points Q usually is what people do. So that costs a lot of mana, and the damage to mana conversion rate isn't that good.
Yeah.
So you just basically want to run that way and then just make him trade with you.
Yeah.
Make him use his spells on you and on the wave preferably. And then run him But the problem was, unfortunately for me, he had a plant spawning in the river twice. And every time I tried to run him he would come back with half mana from the river. So that was kind of unfortunate. And I made the lane matchup really hard. But on top of that, I feel like Jankos was really good at pressuring it, and he was there at a very crucial moment, because around level 4 or 5 is when I can actually harass him and force him to use spells on me, and then he loses. But, you know, he was there, so I couldn't trade with him because Jarvan was around.
But do you outscale as a GP in the end?
Not in the side lane. Only 5v5. Side lane is unplayable. You cannot lane against Ryze side lane, he will just kill you.
All right, so basically, you're kind of needing to snowball the Aurelia and Kardas early on.
Yeah.
Having the pressure on bot lane should be possible, and it was what actually happened in the game. So basically, your game plan was to force fights after that, right?
I mean, our game plan was just play mid-bot, just, you know, pick GP for the global, and just, you know, like, basically, the problem was they banned all my blind picks, or like, not all of them, but we weren't sure what to pick, and I feel like I just picked GP because it's a champion I think is really OP right now. I think he's just a really strong champion right now, and even if the matchup is bad, he can still have value because your ultimate's really strong. And I feel like I did my job in the sense that whenever people came top, they couldn't really get anything because I have the ult. So in a way, I did my job, but I can do my job better is what I'm saying.
All right.
So just need to clean up the gameplay and we should be good.
All right, I understand that, but like we saw Aurelia Zed duke it out in the mid lane, but what was more important in this game was we had a couple of base races, starting with this first Baron steal minion race kind of situation. Yeah. What happened there? Like, can you explain a little bit what went there in your minds? What made this situation that should be like pretty much straightforward become like this huge of a mess?
I mean, we just knew, like, I think we died in the base where we were really low, so we had to base. I think someone died. I'm not sure if it was Hilly or it was someone that, I think it was 4v5 or it was a 5v5, but we were really low and we needed base. So they just decided to rush for the Baron, because if they lose Baron there, we would end the game with 3 inhibs down. So what ended up happening is we were just making a contest of like, can our minions end before they can base? And that's why like we started chasing, but I think we realized too late. I did at least, because I feel like I should have just suicided and just, even if I bought like 2 or 3 more seconds, the minions would have ended because Zed couldn't clear them. Only Cassio or Ryze could base and clear because it was like our Nexus was full. Like their Nexus was actually swarmed with like 8 super minions and Zed couldn't clear them. So I feel like the reason why I was is like it was straightforward in the sense that they needed to do Baron, because if they didn't, without the buff, they couldn't, like our minions would just end the game. And if we had the buff, obviously our minions would just end the game. So it was too difficult for them. So they had to go for it. And then we were just basically in the situation where we lost it. We were just trying for our lives to just stop the bases. Yeah. But we didn't, I didn't realize Wunder had to TP. I didn't realize how many minions there were. So I wasn't hard committing to like stop him from TPing. Because at that point, I think it was one crucial moment where I stepped backward, like I went back. Where I should have just ran forward and just YOLO'd in. Even if I die, it doesn't matter, because I think buying 2 or 3 seconds would have been plenty.
Yeah, I think like if the Zed didn't get in time to the base, I don't think Ryze might be able to stop the whole situation.
Stopping both is what we had to do. Or stopping one of them. I think only Zed couldn't clear. It needed to be Cassio or Ryze. And if we could stop both of those, even if Zed is there's too many minions. Zed doesn't have enough wave clear.
Yeah, so I mean, this was the start, right? Because after that, G2 got Baron and they got back into the game. Obviously, they could force inhibitor. And like, Hylissang did an amazing play by like keeping the inhibitor down. And what about like how does a team react to such a thing? Like who called it in the first place?
I mean, Hilly just knew from the first, like as soon as it happened, he was like, "I'm gonna go take this inhib." Like peace. We had a wave, we had a Baron buff, and it was like, "It's mine now." Like I'm gonna go. We were like, "Oh, maybe you can." Like we were saying, "Oh, Hilly, maybe you can backdoor." And he's like, "Yeah. At least like they'll have to come stop me, or I'm gonna like they can't end because they have to come stop me or lose their inhib." And what ended up happening was a bit of both, because I think eventually Broxah got the base and he got to clear a bit of the wave at least. I think I also ulted the wave, but I'm not sure. I don't really remember. There was so many situations like that. I don't even remember which one. Like, there's so much shit happened in this game. It was unbelievable.
But I mean, like technically, this definitely saved the game for you guys. Like this was like,
sure. It was a sick play by Hylissang.
And now we're in the situation. We're gonna wait until Baron comes up next. And you both decide to go on into the backdoor.
Yeah.
What?
Basically, what happened is that we were like, okay, we're going Baron. Like we need to get this in Baron, and we were just talking about, okay, are they dropping it? And we noticed that they were going mid, so they were dropping it because they weren't coming to contest. And then they went for our base, and we were trying to base, right? But Reckless and Hilly immediately recognized, fuck this shit, I'm going to their base. They went straight for they went straight for the base. You saw, as soon as they showed on our inhibitor, or like even near as soon as they showed on a ward mid, they immediately both dash over the wall instead of trying to base. They both went for the Nexus. Yeah. They just instantly recognized it, and I didn't. I was too slow in recognizing, because I should have stopped Zed from basing, because then we would have for sure ended, right? But they were stopping my base. So it was, at some point, we were just like staring each other in the eye, trying to stop each other's bases. Just hoping that the 2 people that are in the Nexus, like at the Nexus, please, just praying, please win the game, because we were both trolling, all of us were just at the Baron pit, and I think all of us were kind of confused, like, are we supposed to like stop them, or are we supposed to base, what's it going to be? Because I know, like, Promiscu had like a moment where he was hesitating to flash over the wall, because I don't know if he, like, I don't even know what was happening. I had no idea. I was just like, what? I was like, oh, it's lost. And then I saw my Lucian and my Rakan in their base hitting the Nexus. I'm like, oh my god, we're going to win.
Yeah, I saw the relief in your faces after the game. Yeah. So, what's the situation in Fnatic right now? The last time we spoke, you were in this very big slump, technically. And I remember the words you said, like, I mean, we know what's going on. We just don't know now how to fix it. But we're finding it out day to day. And I think 1 or 2 weeks later, after we did our interview in my podcast, you guys clicked. You just were a completely new Fnatic. Yeah. Now tomorrow you play your last game of the split, and you're going to playoffs now. Yeah. So congratulations first on that.
Thank you.
How do you feel like Fnatic stand a chance against the rest of the teams?
I think we're favorable into pretty much every team. I would give us the odds. Obviously, I'm playing on the team. Like, of course, I believe in my team to win, and I think we've actually shown to play a really good early game. So my opinion is we're advantaged. I think most teams will be kind of scared of us because we're 7-0 in the end of the split, and honestly, our early games have looked pretty devastating in most of the games we played. So I'm just really confident.
But what changed? Because I remember what we were talking the most. You were explaining very in depth how the early game wasn't working for you guys, and this was something that you had to learn actually how to play. What happened in this 3-4 weeks after the podcast that you found like not only how to click as a team in the early game, but also make it work?
I feel like our assistant coach Mephisto has spent a lot of time on early game coaching. Like from basically week 1 of the split, he's been coaching early game for everyone on our team, like helping as many people as he could, and focusing on Broxah to like make sure that Broxah's smurfing basically. Because at this point, I feel like he's smurfing in LCS because he makes sure I'm in a good spot, he makes sure mid is in a good spot, and he makes sure bot is in a good spot. Like at least 2 out of 3 lanes every single game we play. There's 2 out of 3 lanes that are doing really well because he's always there. So I feel like that was like the missing link, is that like even when our lanes were going well, we weren't able to incorporate him in the gameplay, but we just, we kept working on it, and now it clicks because we just spent so much time making sure that we can do this, because we felt like, honestly, in the LEC, our lanes are pretty good. Like we're up there in terms of skill level and laning, and one of the biggest issues we had is that the enemy jungler would be able to influence our lanes, but we would struggle to get as much or more when we involve our jungler, right? So we spent a lot of time making sure that when he comes, we can do something, and we set up the communication, blah, blah, blah. We just fixed it.
Well, this one very quick, like how it worked out.
That comes from last year as well, right? Yeah. We've been playing for a year together, and Nemesis is new, right? But again, he clicked as well really quickly once we just realized what all of us needed.
Yeah.
And as a team, we just came together. I think we have a lot more trust in each other now. We're not as much of like we're queuing up for solo queue or whatever. It's more like, all right, we're a team. This is what our team needs. This is what we're going to do.
So yeah, that speaks well about everyone in the team and the team at all in general, right? Yeah. But that was my last question, and I think you know the drill. You have to find a hashtag to describe that game. What's the hashtag for this game?
Hashtag caps off.
Wow. So I think that's a statement from Bwipo. Are you?
People were memeing in a Reddit thread about Fnatic fans have their caps off because he left the team or something. So there you go.
All right.
I have Nemesis now.
All right.
You know the meme? I'm no longer friends with this guy. I'm friends with this guy now. Something like that. I'm kidding. We're on good terms. Me and Caps are on good terms. I think at least. I hope so. He's a really cool guy, but that's a good meme. So I'm gonna go with it.
Someone watching this now, please tweet at the Shotcaller that meme. So anyways, do I have any shoutouts left?
Just Fnatic as a whole. I think our entire team has been smurfing. They stepped up big time. Coaching staff. Shout out to Young Buck. Shout out to Mephisto. Shout out to management. Shout out to everyone, really. I feel like everyone came together as a team. Sports psychologist Chris. Shout out to him too. To the team, and just, for making it possible, making the playoffs run an actual thing.
Well, that's a very good end statement there. So thank you very much for taking the time for this interview.
By the way, the fans, of course. Almost forgot. No, I didn't.
No. He was just teasing, don't worry.
Thanks so much.
Okay, so also to you fans out there, if you like this interview, don't forget to subscribe, because there are a couple of more coming this weekend. And yeah, we're gonna see maybe more in the future from Fnatic here. And we're all excited. So thanks everybody for watching, and see you next time.
Bye-bye. Hey everyone, unfortunately we still don't have a sponsor, so we do really rely on you guys supporting us on Patreon. So we'd especially like to thank Krzysztof Bujnovic, Thomas Göttel, Etienne, Erich Althaus, Lazy Raven, Lama Vyuta, and Adam Novosviat for your support. And of course all the names of the people you see scrolling past you right now. It is genuinely truth when I say that without you this wouldn't be possible right now, so we really do appreciate it. Thank you.